Fitchett, and this is my wife, Jamie Fitchett, and we're the owner-operators of James River Mechanical. We're a heavy industrial piping contractor. We support your local industry, be it your local shipyards, Newport Ship, BAE Ship Systems, General Dynamics, and a host of others. We also support other entities, be it fabrication work, and but the majority of our work is field-driven installs, quick reactionary work, long-term projects. Everybody from our apprentices to the mechanics to the general foremans and superintendents, and then our support staff work hard to work in that area. So my father, Charles Fitchett, started it in 1986, and right here in Smithfield. And you know, it's hard to believe, but it's been 40 years now. Well, so again, my father started the company, but I think the reason he started it, he loved the trades, he loved the work, he loved to build things, and you know, just interacting with the guys and the gals in the industry, and you know, delivering projects. And so later I was asked to come in, and then in turn Jamie came in later. And I think for me, it's sort of the same thing. You know, I went to Virginia Tech and came out, and I'd already served part of my apprenticeship, and you know, I was already working my way up, and the whole time I could tell I really enjoyed, you know, the same sorts of things, you know, delivering projects, tough projects, in tough conditions. That's always been our thing. So.
The biggest change has been the transition from our first generation to the second. When Morgan and I took over from his dad, we had worked hard to build on what he started. And over the years, we've roughly actually tripled the business in both revenue and accounts. A lot of that has come from putting solid, standardized processes in place and surrounding ourselves with an experienced, tenured team. We got folks who've been with us for decades, and that kind of continuity is really something you can't shortcut. The company's bigger and more capable than it was in 1986, but the heart of it hasn't changed. One thing we're genuinely proud of is we're a small company, but we're able to hang in with the A-level customers and suppliers and subcontractors. So that's been something that has, at times, I wasn't always sure that was gonna actually happen, but with prayer and the good team, we've been able to survive different obstacles.
James River Mechanical is a heavy industrial piping installation contractor. We work in the defense industry, your local shipyards, local manufacturing facilities in the Tidewater area. A typical day is us getting up early in the morning and getting out there and getting started. We have a daily start meeting, pre-task planning, safety meetings, all that stuff, and then we're off and running. And, you know, so there's just a lot of neat projects, a lot of really cool things that we build that you know, for me, it's just very interesting. And so, but what I love about it, in that process, there's a lot of camaraderie, you know, with the folks and the teams that we support, our customers and all. So I enjoy that. There's a lot, but you know, on the face, the customers, or even out in the community, they'll see a work truck, you know, cruising by or showing up on the job, but it's, you know, behind the scenes, you know, there's an 1,100-page safety program. There's, you know, the support staff, the folks that really work hard to support the effort. And, you know, so, you know, on the face, you see the logo, you see the trucks and different things, but there's just a lot that goes on behind the scenes to support it. You know, the quality assurance programs and the deep bench of our staff is for me, it's pretty impressive. And it's fun to be a part of that.
In our apprenticeship program, a lot of people don't realize we've had an apprenticeship program, and that actually has been in place since, I would say, the 90s at least. I used to have a certificate in my office, I don't really know where it is now, but just that we've had that, and that actually what I was touching on in the earlier question, how we are still hanging with people that are a lot bigger and have a bigger overall, just have more resources than we do. We've kind of upped our game on our QA, and we have some people who are really, they're just focused on that. And in a small business, you always have to have a lot of people wear a lot of different hats, and that can be a niche too. But then getting to a point where you can actually dedicate that. We do stay busy year round. We used to have busier times a year, I feel like, but now summer and fall tend to be our heaviest stretches. We just handle it by, the key to everything we do is planning, having more things up front, looking at what your task is going to be, and then allocating the people properly to accomplish that. And the experience, and looking at where their experience is. On a previous question, we were talking about some of the things that are behind the scenes, and with that, we have a very strong welding program, and really getting on top of that. And a lot of people don't realize what it takes and how much, somebody thinks they're certified in welding. Well, there's a lot of different types of that, and you have to keep up with it and track it, and there's accountability in that. So we've really gotten, I think, better at making sure that we're meeting those qualifications, and then therefore providing a better service to our customers.
Yeah, and as that gets better, the planning gets easier, but it's a challenge because the demand for fitters, welders, all of these folks is, it's really there. And something we've done to try to help in the effort is we've gotten busier, and we've taken on larger, more complicated projects. And so you have these larger projects, and then you have these really quick hit reactionary projects where something breaks or whatever, and they need you right now. And so what we've done is actually put someone in a position to help with the planning effort, and that's been huge. That gentleman is really working hard to help us all kind of stay together and execute properly. We're not stumbling all over ourselves to figure out what we're doing tomorrow.
And it's helped us as we take things home not to be a stress, because we actually have, it's not always just falling back on us in a way. We have more people that are executing and following through with things.
It would be hard to pick a proudest moment. I think one of the things that I'm proudest of is our apprenticeship program that Jamie was talking about, and the level of effort that goes into the training with our folks. Not just apprentices; it's all the way up. It's a labor trade, but it's a very skilled trade. It's a craft trade, and so your pipe fitting, your welding, your gas fitting, all of the different aspects, the codes and different things. It's not anything that would overwhelm you, but there's a lot of technical nuance in there. And so I think for a company our size to have the training mechanisms in place that we do, all the way from safety to quality assurance and continuous education, for me, that I would say would be my proudest moment, when we finally got all that into place and you're watching it work. It's really neat.
And having people that have stayed with us, who've even gone through the apprenticeship program, and watching us grow. And sometimes they've gone other places, and honestly, if they come back, they bring new things to the table that they've learned outside of that. So it's just been nice to see that.
It just makes you proud, because it's not just us doing it. It's become almost contagious. We've got a team of folks, and they all jump in their own way, and they're helping us continuously improve that. So it's pretty neat.
I think obviously the biggest one, which has been for most businesses you've probably talked to, was COVID. But beyond that, being a smaller family-owned business, we've had to constantly shift and adjust to stay in the game, so to speak. But that actually has become one of our strengths. we can, accomplish a big project by staying nimble and running lean on things and being efficient because of the training and culture that we've built. And people really do support each other. I actually was being a few of these questions by some of my people in the office, and one of the things they said, for them, one of the things they think makes us different, and I think in these challenging times that we've had too, is we genuinely care about our employees, and we try to stay on top of what they're even going through in their personal life and have an open line of communication with them. And I genuinely enjoy those relationships and that camaraderie.
I would say son of a sailor. Jimmy Buffett, he wrote that, and a lot of times I think, yep, he's singing about us. And I think about our history. Mine personally, my great grandfather worked the water. His son worked the water. They were watermen in this area. They worked the James River, and then my grandfather later became a welder at the shipyard. My father served in the trades and became a welder as well, and we've always supported the local shipyards in turn. I've got another great grandfather that, he was at Normandy, and they were shelling Normandy, and so as part of the Navy, and so I think about us now, and I think about the work that we do, how we support a lot of industry, but we're heavily entrenched in the shipbuilding industry and the shipping industry, and we've been able to hang in there and get that done. And so for me, I'm really proud of the fact that we can do that. And but I think going further, and to go along with that song, the people that are with us, and the people that we support, I think it's a song that could resonate with a lot of them. If you really listen to that song, I think that's a good one for us.
And Standing on the Promises of God, I would say that came up in church on Sunday, and I was like, you know what? That to me has been a lot of my theme song through the years when I doubted something or was pushing through something or we're arguing about something.
One thing I'd like to add, a huge part of our success, I talk about my dad starting the company, but we can't leave the ladies out. So his wife, Vivian, when he started the company, she jumped in, and if she hadn't have, I don't know where we would be today, so she worked really hard and put in a lot of hours and really contributed and poured in. And so that allowed us to get up to here, and then and going to Jamie, just thanking her. She's done the same thing. She's come in and really poured in, and without Vivian and Jamie, I can tell you we wouldn't be here today. So anyway, I just wanted to.
We'd be remiss not to say that none of this works without the people around us. We're deeply grateful for our team. They're the heart of this company, and for the customers, suppliers, and trade partners who keep trusting in our work.
Yeah, and one more thing, and I'm sorry, I wanted to throw this in there too, because this is important. I don't want to be cheesy or anything, but we also appreciate being able to work in this area. Smithfield, the county, it's a beautiful place, and I'm not just saying that. It really is. The waterways, the town, just the way people are. It's been, so growing up here and being able to operate here has been really a pleasure, and I've been other places.